let's just go back to whether or not any of these will get through regulatory approval. Let's start with Paramount buying Warner Brothers Discovery. Does it cut legal muster, do you think?
Well, all three of the bidders, remember there was Comcast in there to begin with, have overlaps with Warner Brothers. If you think about three buckets of, say, content production, streaming, and then channels or networks, they all overlap, and Paramount in particular has a lot of production studio kinds of assets, particularly because, of course, Paramount merged with Skydance first. So that's a big issue for them, and they have a significant share of streaming as well.
You served as Deputy Assistant Attorney General for Economic Analysis, Chief Economist. You basically helped with the antitrust division in your time. When ultimately it comes down to it, the courts are going to say, who's the competitor here? Do you think it's right that they bulk in YouTube and new ways of consuming content, even TikTok, versus us all being on linear and certainly on cable?
Yes, I think this is the tricky thing for the Paramount bid. I mean, we all understand what producing content is, and I think we have a pretty good grip on who does that and why it's different and what sort of market there is there. Streaming, however, is much trickier because we have user-produced funny cat videos, we have user-produced videos that actually sustain those users in terms of income. We have professionally produced short things, professionally produced long things, and so we're getting a kind of a continuum of content, and that includes YouTube, as you point out, which has a big chunk of that continuum. And it's going to be very difficult to draw the line on what is what we call the relevant market, which in antitrust is what matters because that's where you get head-to-head competitors.
It feels as though Netflix, for its part, which thus far is meant to be the front runner for buying Warner Brothers, or at least the streaming and the studio side of it, they've tried to front run this sort of argument by making clear they think the market competitors are YouTube and they are TikTok and they are just where our eyeballs are at. Who do they need to convince in this? Because many would say, oh, the Ellisons have got the ear of the administration, but really it's the courts.
That's right. The president can say he wants the Ellisons to have it, and he can say that about his friends or the people who give him money or silence the voices that he doesn't want to hear. But ultimately, we have a law in the United States that can be enforced not only by the public, the federal public authorities, but the states and actually by private plaintiffs as well. And so if there's some harm to competition and that can be shown by a state or a private plaintiff, then they can go to court and try to block the transaction just like the federal government can. And indeed, we have seen states, coalitions of states being very active in antitrust lately when they have felt that the federal government is not doing a good job.